Hey, what is up everyone? So we finally have our first official footage from the upcoming X-Men spin-off, The New Mutants, directed by Josh Boone. Now the film is said to be a horror film inspired by Stephen King and John Hughes, which has left many confused after watching this first teaser trailer because they expected something not quite like what we got in this trailer. I do like actually the tone of this movie a lot, and I do like that Fox is taking the risk to do a non-conventional superhero film and something that's much more of a contained horror film that reminds me a lot of something like A Cure for Wellness, or one of those kind of trippy horror films where it's all kind of a big mystery about what's going on really in this secret facility. And you have the whole roster of mutants including Magik, Wolfsbane, Cannonball, Sunspot, and Mirage/Moonstar. So basically we're just going to go frame by frame going over all of the interesting things in the trailer that we can point out and talk about and break down in depth. So right off the bat, the trailer starts off in an eerie hallway, setting up the tone and mood of the trailer and the film, I guess. This very creepy, dark hospital that these mutants have been locked up in. The next image here, we get a graveyard with marked graves, and I'm guessing this is again hinting at the dark history of this hospital or whatever this facility is. All these graves are probably for mutants that had not survived whatever trials that the staff put them through. Okay, so this first image right here is of Blue Hunt as Daniel Moonstar. She's a Native American mutant who has the power to create illusions drawn from the fears and desires of a person's mind. She's very critical to the story because she has a very personal connection to the Demon Bear, who's actually the villain of this film, and I'll get into the Demon Bear a little bit later on, but this character is going to be very influential, I'm guessing, to the story and overall plot line, as we can see that it looks like they're running a lot of tests on her and she has a lot of creepy visions throughout the trailer. Alright, so this next image here again sets up the whole mood of this film, the mutants being watched and just always having this kind of big brother staring at them and making sure that they don't try anything to escape or harm each other. And obviously in the various monitors we can see close-ups of hallways and individual mutants' rooms. The next image we have is an establishing shot of the hospital. It's unclear as to what the name of the hospital is. You can kind of see the name of it, but it's kind of blurry and hard to tell specifically. It looks like it could possibly be called Mercury Hospital, but not entirely sure about that. So the next couple images we have are of the main cast of characters. First up we have Moonstar here, as she's looking at the doctor, who's actually played by Alice Braga, and she plays Cecilia Reyes, who's a doctor said to be a mentor to the group. She has the ability to generate a protective biofield around herself, and she's actually a character from the comics. A little bit of background on her: she dedicated her life to medicine after witnessing the death of her father, and it wasn't until later on in life that her mutant powers activated, but she rejected Xavier's offer to join his school and instead continued her medical career. So it looks like they're playing it very faithful to the comic book counterpart, but she may have a sinister motive in this movie. Next up here we can see our first look at Anya Taylor-Joy as Ilyana Rasputin, aka Magik, a Russian sorceress who uses teleportation discs to travel. She is the sister of Colossus, an X-Men previously seen in the other films. That's really cool. Definitely hyped up to see this first on-screen debut of Magik. I always loved this character and the design for her, and I'm really interested to see how much of their powers they're going to delve into through this movie. Okay, so the next image here we have is Henry Zaga, aka Roberto da Costa, the Sunspot. Now, Sunspot is a Brazilian mutant with the ability to manipulate solar energies. Sunspot was previously portrayed by Adam Canto in Days of Future Past. He had like a smaller role if I remember correctly. And the last two mutants we have here, first up we got Maisie Williams, of course, as Rand Seclair, aka Wolfsbane. She's a Scottish mutant struggling to reconcile with her religious beliefs with her power to turn into a wolf. That's one of the cool elements of this movie. I can't wait to see her transform into the wolf and see what kind of damage she's going to deal out. Alright, so last but not least, our final character in this movie is going to be Charlie Heaton playing Sam Guthrie, aka Cannonball. Cannonball is a Kentuckian mutant who can propel himself into the air and is invulnerable while doing so. Really interesting power set. I believe he was actually set to appear on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., or rumored at least, so glad that somebody is finally using the character in live action. Alright, so the next shots here we can see some damage going on with mutants. First up we have Sunspot activating his powers right in front of Cannonball. That was a really creepy jump scare. Next up we have a shot of Cecilia Reyes in close-up after it looks like she's been mauled by an animal. This could potentially be Wolfsbane lashing out against her, or the Demon Bear in his physical form. Alright, so the next shot here we have, it looks like Magic and Cannonball are observing a vision of a young Magic actually. She lays in her bed, she's got the little dragon stuffed animal with her, and then a creepy man in a mask ruins that whole vision. Again, we get some more creepy visions here. Cannonball looks like he's hallucinating a bunch of miners around him, and one of them sticks their pickaxe right into his head. So right here we can see that Cecilia Reyes is shooting up Magic with something, potentially to subdue her powers and to help throw her back into her room and lock her up. Alright, the next couple shots we got is some more mutant chaos. We have Moonstar going through a lot of troubled visions, drawing from her fears and desires, and it looks pretty creepy, stuff coming out of the wall. This could be potentially the manifestation of the Demon Bear, maybe in her head, because that's really where the Demon Bear is an entity, you know, that kind of haunts her dreams. For those of you who don't know or are unfamiliar with the Demon Bear storyline, it played out in the pages of New Mutants issues in 1983 by Chris Claremont and Bill Sienkiewicz. So basically the character started off as kind of this supernatural entity that was just in the dreams of Moonstar, and it threatened his impending doom and seemingly was being responsible for the death of her parents. Moonstar chose to keep the Demon Bear's hauntings to herself until it appeared in a physical form and attacked her. This led to the mutants finally banding together to defeat it. So next up, the last couple shots of this trailer, we have one of Wolfsbane freaking out and potentially about to lash out in her wolf form, and the final shot of the trailer is of course Cecilia Reyes potentially talking to Moonstar again, as a lot of the narration of this trailer, it seemingly refers to her talking to Moonstar if she's ever lashed out against other mutants, ever hurt anybody, and she says yes. So this looks like she's kind of the beginnings of their training and trials. So pretty creepy stuff here. Overall, you know, I'm really digging the vibe of this trailer a lot. It just goes to show again how Fox is actually trying to do different things with their movies now. They're trying to go for more self-contained stories that occupy different subgenres of filmmaking. Like this is going to be a horror film, and Logan was kind of like an old school western or something, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing a lot more of this movie. I know some fans might say, well, why aren't they in colorful costumes? Why are they not using their powers? And why don't they go by their code names? But I think we'll be getting something a bit different with this movie, and I for one am looking forward to it. So drop your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you guys think of this first teaser trailer? And is there anything that I missed in my breakdown? Drop it all down below. We'll probably have a bigger discussion on this week's episode of The Marvelites. Thank you all for watching, and for more updates on the New Mutants and the Fox Marvel Universe, be sure to subscribe to Hybrid Network. Thanks again for checking out this video. If you want to get even more updates from us on our social media platforms, links are provided in the description box below, and if you want to see our content improve, donate to us on Patreon for exclusive rewards.